Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. I am so incredibly excited to have you here today. If you're someone who loves to understand exactly how things work from the ground up, you are in for an absolute treat. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into the literal building blocks of human health, the major minerals. Honestly, they're kind of like the unsung heroes of our anatomy, just quietly regulating almost everything that keeps us moving, thinking, and thriving. All right, let's dive into this. So, let me ask you a quick question. What do milk, table salt, and cabbage have in common? I mean, on the surface, literally nothing, right? They taste totally different, they look different, and they sit in completely different aisles of the grocery store. But biochemically, oh, they are absolute gold mines for the major minerals we're exploring today. By the end of this explainer, you'll see exactly how your everyday grocery list maps directly onto your internal health. Okay, let's set the stage with a quick foundational definition. Major minerals are essential nutrients needed in small amounts for proper growth, development, and maintenance of the body. Now, do not let that phrase, small amounts, fool you for a second. Even though we only need them in microscopic quantities, these elements regulate massive biochemical processes. They're helping build bones and teeth, maintaining fluid balance, supporting nerve and muscle functions, the whole shebang. They literally form the physical foundation of our bodies. To make this super easy to digest, we've organized these minerals into specific task forces. First, we'll meet the major minerals overall. Then the bone builders, the masters of fluid balance, proteins, and the nervous system. And finally, we'll look at the cost of deficiency. All right, moving right along to section 2, the bone builders. Let's take a look at our structural foundations. When you think about bones, your brain instantly goes to calcium, right? And rightfully so. But getting your daily calcium isn't just about drinking a tall glass of milk. It's actually about eating a fantastic, varied, and balanced plate. We're talking cheese, green vegetables, fruits, cereals, eggs, and even fish. But here's the thing. Calcium doesn't work alone. Enter its partner in crime, phosphorus. You can grab phosphorus from milk, meat, cereals, eggs, and fish. Do you notice the heavy overlap with calcium sources there? Especially when it comes to the dairy and proteins? Our bodies are actually brilliant at absorbing these two partner minerals from the exact same meals. Both calcium and phosphorus share this massive, absolutely primary responsibility, the formation of strong bones and teeth. They are the scaffolding keeping you upright. This is exactly why they are our primary bone builders task force. Without these two working together in tandem, your body's literal framework is completely compromised. But wait, they do way more than just sit around in your skeleton. Calcium is completely vital for blood clotting and proper muscle function. Literally, if you want to flex a muscle, you need calcium. Phosphorus, on the other hand, is constantly busy maintaining your acid-base balance. And get this, it's a crucial component of ATP, DNA, and RNA. It is practically woven into your genetic blueprint and energy systems. Wrapping up our bone builders task force, we have got to introduce magnesium. Magnesium also plays a huge direct role in forming those bones and teeth. And just like its buddies, you can source it from a really robust diet of milk, whole grains, fish, meat, and green vegetables. So, calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium. These three are your absolute structural champions. Okay, shifting gears to section 3, masters of fluid balance. Let's see how we keep all those internal fluids flowing perfectly. Time to meet our next task force, the balancers. These are potassium, sodium, and chloride. These three essential minerals are continuously working together to maintain water balance and acid-base balance throughout your entire body. Honestly, think of them as your body's microscopic plumbing regulators, just constantly making sure that internal pressure is exactly right. Now, where do we actually get them? Well, for chloride and sodium, the source list is kind of hilarious because it is so incredibly simple. It's table salt. That is literally it. I mean, compare that to the huge grocery list we needed for calcium. To get your sodium and chloride, all you gotta do is pass the salt shaker. But contrast that super simple dash of salt with potassium. To get adequate potassium, you are right back to needing a beautifully diverse whole food diet. You're gonna need meat, milk, cereals, fruits, and green vegetables. It definitely takes a bit more dietary effort to keep those potassium levels optimal compared to sodium and chloride. Now, while all three of these guys maintain water and acid-base balance, they do have some pretty specialized side gigs. Potassium uniquely steps up to support your overall cell and muscle function. Meanwhile, both potassium and sodium share the incredibly vital job of regulating your heartbeat. So, the next time you feel your heartbeat, you should probably think potassium and sodium. Moving smoothly into section 4, proteins and nervous system. Let's focus on cellular and nerve health for a minute. I want you to meet sulfur, our protein synthesizer. Sulfur is a super specialized mineral. It's required for some amino acids, and it is absolutely essential for the synthesis of vitamins and proteins. If you think of your body as a giant factory, sulfur is essentially the foreman on the assembly line, making perfectly sure that proteins and vitamins are actually built correctly. And to keep that particular factory running smoothly, you need a diet rich in sulfur sources. High-energy foods like eggs, meat, cheese, fish, beans, broccoli, and cabbage. Hey, remember our weird little question from the very beginning about what cabbage has in common with milk and salt? Well, here it is. Cabbage is a massive provider of sulfur for your cellular assembly lines. We also need to circle back to magnesium real quick. We met magnesium earlier as a bone builder, right? But its second major function is acting as a crucial support system for your nervous system. Magnesium is literally pulling double duty here. It's reinforcing your bones while simultaneously calming and supporting your neural pathways, a total game changer. Which brings us to our final group, Section 5, the cost of deficiency. Let's talk about the health consequences when things go wrong. The bottom line from our source material is crystal clear here. A deficiency of these minerals can lead to various health problems, and honestly, that's putting it mildly. When our mineral task forces are depleted, we don't just feel a little tired. We experience major systemic breakdowns across multiple vital bodily functions. Just take a look at this. If you lack calcium or phosphorus, you are looking at weak bones and stunted growth. Missing sulfur? That leads directly to protein deficiency disorders. A lack of potassium, chloride, or sodium triggers this whole awful cascade of issues like low blood pressure, muscle weakness, severe cramps, and fatigue. And finally, lacking magnesium leads to irregular muscle contractions and an impaired nervous system. You see, a lack of any single one of these minerals triggers a very specific, highly disruptive breakdown. So, for those of you out there actively studying this material, here are your key exam takeaways to lock into your memory right now. Calcium and phosphorus equal strong bones and teeth. Potassium, sodium, and chloride manage your water and acid-base balance. Sulfur is all about your protein and vitamin synthesis, and magnesium is your absolute go-to for the nervous system and bone health. To summarize the general physical toll of running on empty, you really need to watch out for weak bones, muscle cramps, fatigue, low blood pressure, and nervous system disorders. Honestly, this really connects the dots back to why eating a diverse, whole food diet isn't just, a good idea. It is literally a physiological requirement for your body to survive. Which brings us to our final and probably most important question for this explainer. How well is your everyday diet fueling the microscopic task forces keeping you alive? Are you actually giving your bone builders, your fluid balancers, and your protein synthesizers the tools they need to succeed? It is just fascinating how much control we actually have over our own internal health, simply by what we choose to put on our plates. I really hope this structured look at major minerals has sparked your curiosity to learn even more about your incredible body. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I will see you in the next explainer.